This is a film that was inspired by true events that happened in 2016 on Orange County in Little Saigon. And it centers around a elderly Vietnamese cab driver who gets picked up, or he picks up 3 men on a routine pickup. And it just transpires that those 3 men are fugitives from the Orange County prison. And we follow the several days that ensue with this and the bond that they form between each other. And like beneath the veneer of that is a portrait of 4 fragmented people who piece together this portrait of searching for belonging. And I think there's a similarity in each one that you might not recognize at first impression. It holds so many themes that mean so much to me in my own life and my own upbringing. It's what I search for in most stories. And what was captivating was you have on the surface what you might think is a certain kind of thrilling story, but the impulse was to softly subvert the veneer of that, the intention of that, and beneath that there was such a tender and fragile story about 4 men that we don't often see in cinema in general, particularly within the immigrant and refugee experience as well. There's something more soulful about how we present ourselves.
I was sent the article by GQ magazine that broke this story, I believe. Singh and the producer sent it to me, and the same thing that grabbed me immediately at that, after I read the story, and even I'm sitting here now, which was, I think Singh said it best, is the fragility and the vulnerability of these men, and particularly the 3 convicts who, on the surface, feels very sort of dangerous, and they are, and messed up and all of that, but underneath, they're just a bunch of outcasts trying to find a place to belong, and that really made me want to sign on. And of course, when I met Singh and what he had articulated in terms of exploring beyond, the sort of the surface cat and mouse hostage type of film, that's how I was pretty much won over by that.
Yeah, I attracted it so much is because when I first got the audition script, it was all in Vietnamese. It was like, wow, that's my mother tongue. It's amazing. And I connect to the role as well because like I have gone through war trauma, I feel deep down in he's so me, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I remember this very particular moment. The first page, I said, who wrote this? It was so detailed and descriptive. I was like, I fell in love with the character Lama already. So then I knew, I said, this is easy. This is a deeper story than I think it is. It has a lot of depth, and I said, sign me on, please. So yeah, that's for me at least.
Same for me. When I read the script, I thought it was really strong, and all these informations I couldn't have imagined, like all the universe about Little Saigon, on this story. I just discovered more and more, page after page, and I remember my agent told me, okay, it looks like this is a Sundance movie. Here we are.
If I may add, I'm sorry. Are you done, darling? No, I don't want to interrupt, but I think this needs to be said for me anyway. Aside from all of that, this is the first, being a Vietnamese American working in Hollywood all these years, this is the first script that I have read with Vietnamese characters where it actually could be played by anybody. But yet there's a very strong Vietnamese soul and culture and nuances within the community, particularly the Little Saigon community in Orange County, relatively unknown to outsiders. So this is the first time I've really seen and involved with a project about Vietnam, but has nothing to do with the war, which is refreshing.
I felt compelled in everything that they're saying. It leads to that these characters, each 4 of them, and 5, each 5 characters become a vessel for larger themes, so that it's not related to just one person. It's related to different commentaries and observations of generational divides, of cultural divides, of, as Dustin said, like these outsider experiences that we have. And through those different generations, you know, you have Long Ma, who's 80 years old, and you have Eddie, who's 21. You know, we each have a different challenge to navigate. And so from my own personal experiences, I see fragments and memories of myself in Eddie and my own grandparents in Long Ma. How do you make that succinct, and how do you make that clear, and how do you allow that to resonate with a wider audience? That was the exciting exploration. And beyond that, you know, for me, the cinematic language that I grew up with was a lot of East Asian cinema. And someone who was born in the West, there was a reconciliation of the influence of both those languages and how they play out. And that lends into something that I hope is a refreshing take on a story like this, but also a refreshing take on what films can be.